Alright, so this video might piss some people off, mostly because of this hat. Angers some people, just the sight of it. But desperate time or extreme times call for extreme measures, and it's a little bit extreme out here. I have a friend in Vancouver who said that he got government warnings about the temperatures because they were 85 degrees Fahrenheit. Well, the other day it hit 120 here. My thermometer says it's 118 right now. I think it's actually more like 114, but we want to see how the best solar oven, the All-American Sun Oven, how quickly it warms up in these extreme temperatures. I set this thing up literally 30 seconds ago. So we're going to see it's already over 100 degrees in there. So we might be able to do this in real time, but I'm probably gonna hard boil some eggs. A whole dozen of them in there. So we'll come back in a few minutes to see what happens with this. I'm gonna go ahead and I will start a timer. So Siri, start a time. Oh wait, I don't have an iPhone. So we'll see how long this takes. We might be able to watch this thing creep up in real time. All right, so it's been about 7 minutes and it's already over 200 degrees. All right, so it has been 11 minutes and it is at 250 degrees. So I'm probably just gonna medium boil these and it probably will continue to get hotter. So we are just going to throw these in. I got like a whole 18 here. Let's see what we can get. Nick the edge of that thing. Toasty in there. Now we just want to line up our little. There we go. Start the timer. Alright guys, so it's been about 18 minutes. As you can see, this is at 300 degrees. And that's the interesting thing. A lot of people might expect that because it's so hot out there that it just would instantly get to like 400 degrees in here. But the way this works isn't the ambient air temperature, it's the sunlight. And so it will work better in 75 degrees in full sun than it will be in 114 degrees out here if I went and set it in the shade. Because the air temperature, I don't want to say it's irrelevant, but it's using the sun. That's why it's the All-American Sun Oven. Alright, temps are still high. This has been about 40, just under 45 minutes. So we're going to see what we got. So I wanted these medium boiled. So I only had them in there for like just over 40 minutes. Definitely needs probably a little more time. They're just barely done enough for what I would consider medium boiled. And some of them not quite, or a little too soft. So an hour is a better bet. But that's the interesting thing, is that you would think that in these crazy temperatures that it would increase the speed a lot, but it really doesn't. It doesn't even max out the max, or raise the max temperature all that much. It gets up to temp, like that first 200 degrees happens a lot faster when it's hot, like super hot like this. But other than that, it's just about the sun and the time. It really doesn't dramatically change it in the way that you might think that it would just be 400 degrees in there, melt everything, something like that. So it really, the outside temps aren't going to drastically change what you need to do. The main thing is the full sun. If it's better to have 75 degrees where you can have several hours of full sun for a serious meal, or a full hour for something like this, versus 105 degrees where you're partially shaded or something. So this might not even work at all for you. So you don't need the 118 degree temps, but they definitely get it up to speed quickly enough, but doesn't drastically change the process. So what have we learned? Well, first of all, we've learned that there's just no accounting for taste with some people, that they would reject a stylish yet somehow fully functional attire such as this. And also, we've learned that the temperature itself does not actually make all that much of difference with the sun oven. It's about the sun. And it will work better in 75 degrees full sun for however much time you need than it will in 110 degrees air temperature sitting in the shade. It's all about the sun and uninterrupted and the time. And that's why adjusting it every 15 minutes or so is, so it's pointing directly at the direction and the angle that you need, is your best bet. Because I thought that this would go much quicker, and that what normally takes an hour would take only about 45 minutes. It didn't. It would probably only take about 5 minutes less, because the max temperature didn't increase that much. It just got to the first 200 degrees like that, which isn't surprising. So that's actually good that you don't have to adjust too much based on whether it's 75 degrees or 105 degrees. You really don't have to do anything too much differently. You can never burn anything in a sun oven. You can overcook something, I guess, if you left it in there for hours more than you should have, but you can't burn anything. It's always going to be nice, evenly cooked because it's about the temperature in there all around it. There's not a heating element like on a stove or something like that. And so I definitely still don't change my opinion that they're one of the most important things that preppers can have for long-term preparedness in any place where you actually have enough sun to make it viable. And link will always be in the description as usual.